Welcome to Wrestling with Siblings. I'm your host, Araceli, and this is my co-host, Armando.
Hi, guys. I'm Armando. I know it's been a while, but I'm back.
I know, we are officially back. Sorry, we were gone for a really long time. I believe it's been like a month, but we are officially back doing this on a weekly basis. We promise, okay? A lot has happened since we last did the podcast, but let's start with this weekend's Royal Rumble. It was a big week for wrestling. I first want to start off by saying thank you if you're still listening to us after a month of absence. Anyways, let's start with the first match. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Obviously, AJ Styles ended up winning that match. What is there really to say about AJ Styles? Not much other than he's the GOAT. He's the greatest in-ring performer we have right now. Kevin and Sami Zayn, what do you think about them? Should they have been paired in the first place, or are they better off individually?
I think paired. It was a great idea just for the moment, but I think they should just stick to singles competition. I really want to see more of Sami Zayn. I know he was great in the indies, and we still haven't got to see Sami Zayn explode. We already saw Kevin Owens. You know, he's pretty much, out of both of them, the one. Out of Kevin and Sami, he's pretty much the one that's the most talented and then getting pushed. But I would really like to see Sami Zayn getting more pushed. Obviously, this is going to lead to, obviously, their match against each other at WrestleMania. It's obvious.
That's the direction they're going in, and that's probably what they were thinking of when they paired them together. I mean, I'm looking forward to see where that's going to take us.
Bringing back their NXT story where they would face each other.
Yeah.
And all that.
Okay. What do you think about the stipulation of this match, though? It was a 1-on-2 handicap match where if Kevin or Sami got the pin, they would become co-champions, I believe. I mean, that's never been done before. Not that I remember, at least. What do you think about the stipulation? I mean, it's very confusing. It seems like it was just thrown out there. Like, they had nothing else to do with them. So they were just like, you know what?
I don't think it was thrown out there. I think it was all planned. Like I said, that they were going to lead eventually. If you think about it, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, if they would have won co-champions, I'm pretty sure they would have got into a fight. They would have been arguing and saying, oh, well, you know what? I'm better than you because I got the pin and this and all that stuff. So
it was eventually going to lead to a rivalry.
Either way, it was going to lead up to a rivalry in WrestleMania. That was a given, whether they were champions or not.
I just really hope that they build it well enough for it to be really good for WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Okay, let's move on to the second match of the night. It was the Usos versus Chad and Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls. The Usos got both falls. They got them right away. Not right away, but they got them fairly quickly. Chad and Benjamin didn't get any.
No, I mean, in the 2 out of 3 falls, the best way to do it is get your pinfalls quick. The Usos have proven once again why they run the tag team division, both in SmackDown, and if they were on Raw, they would probably do the same thing right now.
Yeah.
Being heel, I mean, it's turned out great for their careers, and look where it's taking them.
I feel they're doing a really good job representing the SmackDown Live tag team division right now, because given that Raw pretty much only has one official tag team now, 2 with the Revival. We'll get more into that later, but
3 if you count Gallows and
Anderson, yeah, but
that's all they
have.
I
mean, that's all they have, whereas SmackDown Live has these different tag teams to choose from, and the Usos have proven that they belong in the number 1 spot right now. Chad and Benjamin, though, on the other hand, I feel like Chad has kind of fallen off the wagon since Jason Jordan left. I feel like they could do way more with Shelton Benjamin. We've already seen him as a singles competitor, both down in the Indies and in WWE before, and I feel like he does great on his own. I don't know why they would pair him with Chad, maybe to replace Jason Jordan for the similarities. I have no idea, but I feel like he's better off on his own. Same thing with Chad Gable. Like, they're both super talented. I just don't see them together as a tag team. I don't like them as a tag team.
They should have just put a Chad by himself in singles competition. He would have done great, and he deserves an opportunity. I know that for a fact for a title in singles, just because the tag team division is too competitive right now at SmackDown.
That's true. Very, very true. Okay, so the third match of the night was the men's Royal Rumble. The 30 men's Royal Rumble. We'll hit the important points and entries plus the winners and stuff. So the first entrant was Rusev. He was number 1. And Finn Balor was number 2. Both these men lasted longer than about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I know Finn lasted, I want to say, 57 minutes.
Yeah, around there.
And then Finn made it to the Final 4. Some of the surprise entrants that were there was at number 7, Armando's twin, as I like to say, Andrade Cien Almas, who happens to be the NXT champion.
El ídolo.
Yes. He did an amazing performance. He lasted for a really, really, really long time. And I believe him and Adam Cole were the only ones that came down from NXT. I was completely impressed with his performance at the Rumble, and I was not expecting him. Like, I really was not expecting him to be brought up. The moment I saw him, I was like, no way!
Yeah, that is correct. As you can see, I was super excited for that when he came out. For him being his first time in the main roster, especially in the Royal Rumble, like you said, he did do a good job. And don't be surprised if big things come for him in the future, because he's just super talented and he's going to do great things, I know it.
Okay, entrant number 20, which we already knew he was going to be in the Rumble, but I guess you can still call it like a big or surprise entrant, was John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena, he was my favorite one to win. I was expecting him to win just because he was not the more experienced, but it would have made sense for him to win it. Just because he's pretty much a part-timer now. And
who would you have want if Cena would have won it? Who would you have want him to face at Mania? Brock or AJ?
I would have loved to see him against AJ.
Yeah.
Again, because when they would face each other in SmackDown Live, they had great matches. I know everybody's gonna say, yeah, we're already seen that match, but you have two of the top guys in the business, and
you can't go wrong with that match. Plain and simple.
Every time they wrestle against each other, they always deliver. So no doubt about it, and it would have made sense because John Cena could have walked off as being the 17-time world champion.
Yeah.
So it would have played out perfect for him, and that's why I would have wanted John Cena.
He wasn't my pick. You already know who my pick was, but I'll say it at the end since he was the one that ended up being the winner. Another surprise entrant. He's one of my favorite ones since I was a kid. He was number 21. He's the Hurricane. He got eliminated surprisingly fast. Like, he got eliminated by John Cena fairly quickly. I was surprised when I saw him show up at the Rumble. I was not expecting him. What do you think, Armando?
I wasn't expecting him either. He's just one of those surprises that the Royal Rumble brings out to us.
But the next one was really huge.
Was even bigger.
I was not expecting this one. Rey Mysterio's music hits, and you can hear it even through the TV. You can hear the big pop that he got. They blew the roof right off that place. Rey Mysterio, that was the biggest surprise out of the men's Royal Rumble. Sadly, he didn't sign. It was just a one-night thing. I would have loved to see him, do more stuff in WWE. I know you would have loved to see him down in 205
I
Live.
want to see him in 205. I think that's what 205 needs.
A guy like Mysterio?
Like Mysterio to carry the brand. Not only because he's got the experience and the talent, but he can mentor all those guys. And I think they need someone like him down there in order for that brand to be successful.
Maybe he'll resign with WWE later on, but based on his performance on the Rumble, he still got it. He could easily do well. Even as a general manager down in 205 Live, I mean, they need somebody who's going to support them.
I don't want him as manager. I want him to be as actual.
An actual talent?
Yeah, actual talent. Just like I said, just because he'll do great stuff. It's just the shape he's in, and the amount of moves, and then he'll get down with all the 205.
Okay. Number 30. Number 30 is usually a really big superstar, is like the biggest surprise entrant of the entire night. We got Dolph Ziggler. Can I tell you I was expecting him? No, because I wasn't expecting him. But it wasn't a huge surprise either. I mean, where do you see him going from here? He doesn't have the U.S. title now.
I wasn't expecting him neither. I think it was just thrown out there to see what happened. What happens. One of those things.
I mean, but he walked out on SmackDown Live a couple of weeks ago. He dropped the title, and everybody thought he was done. And then he suddenly comes back, and he's the entrant at the Royal Rumble. Do you think he was just done being a mid-carder, and he just decided, you know what, I'm coming back at the Rumble, and I'm winning it, and I'm going to main event Mania?
To show him that he could main event. That he doesn't want to be a mid-carder anymore, you know, and I think that's why he's upset, and one of the reasons why he dropped the title. You know, like he's being put.
Bobby's doing really good with it right now, so we'll see where Ziggler goes from there. Let's get into the fourth match, which was The Bar versus Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins. I've already told you my thoughts. Jason Jordan, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I don't think he should be paired with Seth. Period. Seth is on a completely different level.
Yeah, and I think Jason Jordan is getting shoved down our throats like Roman is.
Yeah.
They should have just kept them in SmackDown.
With Chad Gable, you think that he was doing good down there with them? I mean,
they were up there, but they weren't too hot.
Well, yeah, they weren't there, but they were there. There was something
and
there.
Just the match in general wasn't good neither. The tag match, it was pretty much Seth Rollins just the entire match.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. They're just Jason Jordan's just. I don't feel he's A-list material. Like I said, I think it's just because he's getting pushed too hard. And
do you think now that they're not tag team champions, they're gonna split them now and they can both go their separate ways? I mean, I'd love to see Seth in the chamber.
It's gonna happen the same way that happened with. It's gonna happen with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Most likely they're gonna face each other once or twice, and that's going to lead to a big feud
at Mania,
just because Seth Rollins is pissed off because Jason Jordan didn't interfere in the match or didn't participate as much in the match just because his head got hit in the ring post.
He hasn't really been that great of a tag partner either, which is what you're saying pretty much.
Exactly.
Okay. Enough of those guys. Let's get into the main event, which was supposed to be Kane, Braun, and Brock. A triple threat. Kane. What are your thoughts on Kane?
All I gotta say about Kane is Kane just came back to the WWE to get money so he could finance his political campaigns and going back to being a mayor. That's it.
I mean, he took the pinfall, so
yeah.
I mean,
let's be honest. He's pretty much done. He can't compete at the level that Braun Strowman
and Brock can compete at. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to see Braun take the title home. I wanted to see him be champion. I want to see him be the champion now. I feel like he can carry WWE on his shoulders. I think he's proven himself, but they don't want to give him that chance yet. We do know that Roman is challenging for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, so it's a given.
It's obvious
that's going to end up happening. I mean, we'll see how far that goes. But
all I gotta say is the matches that SmackDown had, the very few, they were better than the Raw ones.
I have to agree with you on that.
Again, in my opinion, and you guys probably think different, but I think SmackDown's by far the best brand.
Based on like the talent, or based on like the show that they're putting on?
Based on talent and based on shows that they're putting on.
Because Raw has been giving us some pretty good Raws lately.
Yeah, but it's not often. If you really pay attention and are like passionate into wrestling and all that, you'll see that SmackDown gives you a better show. And just the pay-per-views. If you look at this past pay-per-view that passed, the matches of the SmackDown brand were better than the ones in Raw.
Than the ones in Raw, yeah. That I have to agree with you on. Okay, now let's get into what was the main event. This match was announced a couple weeks ago. I want to say 3 weeks ago. The first ever women's Royal Rumble. 30-woman Royal Rumble. There was a whole bunch of surprise entrants. This Rumble, to me, not only because I'm a woman, but let's be honest, it was the better Rumble out of the two.
Yeah, I agree. It was better just because it had a lot more surprises than the men's.
And then, like, the talent that was there was...
I
don't want to say bigger because it's just underestimating the men, but it's like...
I really like the fact that they brought back all the legends.
We'll get into who they brought back, which came in at number 5, was Lita. Lita was number 5, like the first 4, they were good and whatnot, but number 5, I was like, really? That's Lita? There's no way Lita's in this match. And of course, I'm not surprised because she is one of the women that, helped get the women's division to where it is now. But I was very surprised by that one. And then number 6 was Kairi Sane. I can't pronounce her name. Sorry if I said it wrong. She is the winner of the Mae Young Classic. She did a really good performance as well. Number 9 was Tori Wilson, who is a veteran who's wrestled before. I really liked what she did in there. Number 12 was Molly Holly. I mean, again, what can I say? Michelle McCool was number 14. Number 16 was Vicky Guerrero. This one, I was surprised to actually see her. Like, when her music played, I was like, oh my god, it's Vicky, and she comes out with the whole excuse me thing, and she just gets thrown out right away. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool to see her come back. I wasn't expecting her to win it, that's for sure. We had Kelly as number 19. Jacqueline as number 21. Ember Moon as number 23. I didn't expect that one either. Cool. She is the NXT Women's Champion, for those of you who don't know. I was fairly surprised to see her. She was in there for quite a while as well. Then we have number 24, which was Beth Phoenix. Her, I was kind of more expecting. It was like more predictable, but at the same time, I was surprised that she was there. Number 27 and 28. 27 was Nikki Bella. 28 was Brie Bella. We were all expecting the return. I was super excited to see them come back. I'm a big Bella fan. And number 30, the biggest pop of the night, goes to Trish Stratus. She made her return. She hasn't lost a beat. She can perform all the moves like if she's been wrestling forever. I was sad when she got eliminated. By the way, I forgot to mention this. Sasha Banks was the first woman to ever enter the Royal Rumble. And she lasted 54 minutes in that match. She made it to the last 4. And then she got eliminated by the Bellas.
I just want to see Trish and Lita kick all this young talent butt. You know? I think they will destroy them and they'll have great matches if they were to happen.
If they were to come back, like, for another storyline, we all know we want to see Team Bestie versus Team Bella, obviously. Like, well, that's what I want to see. But yeah, I mean, those two women, they still got it. They proved it down at the Rumble. The winner ended up being Asuka. Asuka won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and I was expecting it. I knew that's the way it was going to go. She hasn't chosen who she's going to face. Shinsuke Nakamura, the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble, chose that he wants to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania. That match is going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm happy we get to witness it live. So stay tuned for that because there will be videos and everything on that. To close off the show, Ronda Rousey comes out and has a stare down with Charlotte. She looks at Alexa. She's there with Asuka, and then she goes and shakes Stephanie McMahon's hands. There was a lot of controversy about it. I will reserve my thoughts on it. All I'm going to say is she's a super mega star. She's going to bring a lot of viewership from outside until the WWE, and she's going to bring a lot of viewership into the women's division, and I feel like she can really help elevate them. Should they have gone differently about it? Maybe, but this is perfect to set up the storyline for her to go up against Charlotte at Mania.
Yeah, we don't know yet who she's going to face. But like you said, it's exciting. It's a new face We'll see what the excuse me. We'll see what WWE decides to do with her. You know, hopefully they use her right and not use her like Brock Lesnar, only a part time.
Well, she signed a full-time contract, and right now she's filming a movie. So until she's done filming a movie in Colombia, she's not going to be full-time. Until that time, we'll see what WWE does with her. We'll see where they put her, what direction they go with her. I would like to see her go up against Charlotte, though. I'd like to see how that storyline plays out. Or I'd like to see her go up against somebody else. We'll just have to wait and see what WWE decides to do with her. I mean, WrestleMania is in like 67 days, 66 days, I want to say. Something like that. It's not too far from now. Okay, that's it for the Royal Rumble. Let's get into Raw. So the show opens up. You know, they're going to have a last man standing match. And it's Braun versus Kane. And Braun Strowman just completely, like, comes out and... You know the announce table that's sitting up at the top of the ramp? He just completely throws it on top of Kane and then goes into the ring and then calls himself the last man standing. I mean, was he doing his job? Yeah. Is it totally legal? Of course. I just thought it was... They could have gone differently about it. But like you said, you don't really think Kane is in it anymore.
Nope, definitely not. And just Braun Strowman's a monster. He destroys whatever he gets in his way.
Okay, I believe the next match was Elias versus Matt Hardy. I mean, Elias, he's super good, super talented. I don't know what they're going to do with him. He's just kind of been in a no direction. Kind of like Matt as well. Like, Matt is up against Wyatt, but it's kind of like ever since Jeff got injured and Jeff left, it's kind of like, okay, well, yeah, he's woken, but there really is nothing there for him. Like, there's no actual storyline, you know? And, like, Elias, he's kind of just floating.
Yeah, I agree. Elias is just floating. We'll see who they throw him up against. I would have waited for Woken Hardy to come out after WrestleMania. But, again, like I said, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I expected more out of the Woken storyline, you know, kind of something like we saw down in TNA. Yet again, I don't know how WWE was going to go about that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how they play out.
I feel that storyline they shouldn't have brought Woken Hardy, just because we're used to seeing actual Matt and Jeff as the actual Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
You know, Team Extreme. You know, and we just know them as the Hardys. You know, I think this is something new that the WWE
is experimenting with, and they still don't know
exactly.
They don't know what to do with the storyline. Basically,
I mean,
they have
great.
The idea and it's pitched. They just don't know how to run with it and how to make it into a really good storyline.
With me, I would just keep them as Matt and Jeff. Just as simple as that. You know, even though we all know Jeff's the one that's a little bit more talented than Matt. Matt looks a little old, you know, a little stiff here and there in the ring, but you know, he still compete. He can't compete in singles matches anymore. That's a fact. They had to partner him with something, so they had to throw Jeff in there. Like I said, that's why I would have kept them just as regular Matt and Jeff. Not.
Okay, then we had The Miz versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz, of course, he's really good. He's really improved over the last couple of years in the microphone and in ring. He's made me care about the Intercontinental Championship lately. Like, I want to see him. And I want to see him in the main event status as well. Like, he's one of the reasons why I tuned into Raw as well. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you know, you're on the storyline. You're making whatever it is that you do really, really good that it must see.
Yeah, he's entertaining, very creative. I think other than AJ Styles, he's probably
one of the top guys right now.
If not the top guy, other than AJ Styles. He's probably Miz is probably the top guy in the WWE right now. Like you said, we've watched him grow, just with an in-ring performance, microphone skills, everything in general.
He's gotten really, 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 really good. And, like, he's a full package now. I think he's ready to get that championship, whether it's the Universal one or the WWE Championship, but I do want to see him as champion. Roman Reigns. He's improved, I don't know if it's just because he's been wrestling The Miz lately or what it is, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. I'm not a fan of the guy. I'll admit that now. But his matches have been getting better. That's all I gotta say about Roman. I don't know what you have to say.
Not much. He's, like you said, he's just there. He's just getting pushed and everything. I think it's just the fact that if WWE didn't push him as much, he'll have a different outcome. And I think he needs to change his attitude a little bit as far as everything. He's got that cockiness. Yeah, you need it, but
he takes it to a point where at this point it's not helping his character. He's already hated and he's a face. I mean, he should reevaluate.
Miz, it plays out perfect for the Miz, but not for Roman.
Oh yeah, because he's a heel, but he knows how to play that heel role. He knows how to, work the crowd and stuff. Yeah. Roman, on the other hand, he comes out, everybody starts booing. His music plays, he doesn't even have to say a word.
He doesn't have the microphone skills to convince the people
that he's good enough to be there.
Good enough to be there. Which makes sense, and I think in this business, in the WWE and in wrestling, you gotta have great mic skills just to convince people that you are what you are, and that's I think what Miz is doing, and that's what the difference between Miz and Roman is.
And that's why Miz has been so respected lately, because he's proven himself. He's really, really proven himself. By the way, those of you that don't know, he is getting his own reality TV show called Miz and Mrs. And he is expecting a child. Well, Maurice is expecting a child. He will be a father. Rhino and Slater versus The Revival. Rhino and Slater, I mean, I think they're pretty good as a tag team. You have, like, the strong one, which is Rhino, and then you have, like, the goofy, silly one, Heath Slater, who, by the way, lasted over 12 minutes in the Royal Rumble. But in the actual match, he was only in there for, like, 33 seconds before he got eliminated.
Which sucks. Every superstar that came out will punch him and
kick him or some sort of thing. Yeah. They wouldn't let him get into the ring. That's kind of messed up.
But that was pretty smart, because if I was him, I would have stayed outside and then...
When Shinsuke Nakamura was left, just come in...
That would have been me. Just because I would have played it smart. And come on, you guys gotta feel sorry for him. The guy has kids. Come on.
Yeah. What about Kofi? His entrance at the Rumble. Well, not his entrance. You know how he always gets eliminated and somehow he ends up...
I think that's the only... Excuse me. I think that's the only part where... why we want to see the Royal Rumble. To see what Kofi...
what Kofi has to do. Yeah. Naomi actually did really good on that too. But that's completely off topic. The Revival.
Revival. Great tag team so far. What I've seen, I haven't seen much of them. They remind me a lot of the Dudleys, just because they're aggressive.
Their characters and stuff like that. I want to see them go up against the Bar. I feel like that would be a pretty good match to see, and it would be something different. We've already seen Seth and Roman. We've already seen The Shield. We've seen Seth and Jason Jordan, which were the current champions. Now I'd like to see the Revival, and I mean, there's only, 3 tag teams down in Raw. You have the Bar, you have the Revival, and then you have Gallus and Anderson.
Nerds.
Gallus and Anderson. I mean, that's pretty much the only tag teams they have.
Yeah.
So, okay. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. I mean, what can I really say? They put on a match. I mean, Sasha gave it to Asuka. She did the bank statement, if I'm not mistaken, 3 times. Correct me if I'm wrong. She did the bank statement on her 3 times. It was a really, really good match. You were the one that actually said you wanted to see Sasha Banks beat Asuka, or you thought she would be the woman that was going to beat her. She was fairly close. Gotta give you that.
I came up short, but at the end of the day, it was a great match, and we all enjoyed it. And I think that's what the women's division needs great matches like those.
I still think Charlotte's gonna be the woman to beat Asuka. I feel like Charlotte can take her on, but we'll wait and see. Maybe they'll give it to Ronda. Who knows? Titus Worldwide versus The Bar.
Not much to say on that one. I mean, I'm trying to be part of the Titus brand, which, trying to be worldwide with the podcast, and Titus doesn't want to sign us. But
Hey, maybe he hasn't discovered us yet. Can somebody, send this over to him, tweet it to him? Maybe he'll discover us and he'll take us in as part of the
Titus brand.
Yeah. But I mean, they're doing pretty good, Adding Dana I think it was a pretty good idea. It gives Dana something to do.
Yeah, that's another tag team that probably needs to get pushed. So far from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. Just to give it an expansion to the tag team division in Raw, because I think that's what's hot right now in
SmackDown. So maybe kind of up it up a little in Raw is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, The Bar. They face The Bar. I mean, there's really nothing much to say about these guys. We've talked about them lots of times. I think they have good chemistry. At first, when they got paired together, I was like, why would you pair them together? But then I realized, you know what? This is actually a really, really good tag team. I want to see where they go with this. Like I said, I'd like to see them face the Revival pretty soon.
I think once they lose their titles,
they're going to go back to singles competitors.
I think they should go back to singles competitors.
Time for new tag teams.
Especially with Cesaro. I really, really love Cesaro and what he does in the ring. It's just amazing. He's one of the most gifted
talents
right now. He reminds me a lot of Randy Orton. I'm sorry.
In his early days.
Or as now. Just the way he executes all his moves perfectly and nails all of them pretty much. He's just so smooth in the ring.
I think he's ready for a
championship. Push. He deserves a big push.
I think he's ready for the championship.
I think he should be the next Intercontinental Champion in Miz.
After Miz drops the title and goes on to the main event status, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, Cena versus Finn Balor. This match was pretty good. At least I thought it was good. I mean, some people may disagree. Cena, there's not much to say about him. He is John Cena. He knows what he's doing. He can carry a match, and he can make a match for the most part good. Finn Balor, they've really been doing nothing with him ever since he won the Universal Championship, and he had to relinquish it because of his shoulder injury. I feel like they've really done nothing with him ever since he came back. He's just kind of been floating up in the air. They're, trying to find something for him. He did last a really long time at the Royal Rumble, though. Since
they haven't found anything for him, he should walk with Elias.
You think so? You think that's a good pairing?
He should walk with Elias. I mean, it's just an option out there. Like I said, I want to see more of Finn. I didn't get a chance to see him a whole lot in NXT. I'm still waiting for his pop. That injury that he had when he became the champion really affected his career, and he hasn't been able to get back into it. I think he needs those main event matches to get back into. Back into it.
His match with John Cena was really good. That was a qualifying match. So far for the Chamber, we have Cena in it. We have... Who's the other one? Braun is in it. And then there's one more. I just don't remember off the top of my head who it is right now. But, yeah, that was it.
Elias.
I think it was... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Elias who qualified for the other one. I didn't get to watch SmackDown. I do know that Carmella was close to cashing in and didn't end up cashing in. The Riot Squad pretty much took down Charlotte for her, and she comes out running with the ref, and she ended up not cashing in.
Yep, and like I said earlier too, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, we saw them getting into a fight, into an argument. Like I said, it's all leading to that match
at Mania
with their friendship on the line.
That's all we...
And I think that's going to be them splitting up. One's probably going to go back to Raw, or the other one's going to go back, stay in SmackDown. I'm sorry.
So that's all we have for you guys today. Again, join us next week on Wrestling with Siblings. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave down your comments. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you here next week on Wrestling with Siblings. This has been Araceli and
Armando. It was a pleasure tonight, guys.
We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys soon. Thank you.